the Mountain States. Hey guys, it's me, Arizona, and I'm the Grand Canyon State. Yeah, you guys probably know me as the Grand Canyon State because I own the Grand Canyon. Yes. Let's talk about my borders. I border Utah to my north. I border Colorado to my northeast. I border New Mexico to my east. I border Mexico to my south. I border California to my south to my west, and I border Nevada to my northwest. Here is my elevation. Damn, I got a lot of mountains. And here are my cities: Page, Lake Havasu City, Flagstaff, Scottsdale, Tempe, Yuma, Tucson, which is technically my largest city, Sierra Vista, and Phoenix is my capital city. Here are my landmarks. I own the Grand Canyon, obviously, and I own Hoover Dam, which is what I technically share with Nevada. Here, yeah, let's move on to New Mexico. New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico. Yeah, you. Yeah, I was home. Yeah, I love that song. And plus, I was home to the nation's first road runners. Let's talk about my borders. I border Colorado to my north. I border a little bit of Oklahoma to my northeast. I border Texas to my east. I border Mexico to my south, and I border Arizona to my west, and I border Utah to my northwest. Here's my elevation. Also got a lot of mountains. And here are my cities: Farmington, Gallup, Albuquerque, which is technically my largest city, Silver City, Deming, Chris' Sunland Park, Carlsbad, Hobbs, Clovis, Roswell, and Santa Fe is my capital city. And here are my landmarks. I own Los Almas International Laboratory, the Carlsbad Cave International Park, and the White Sands National Monument. Time to move on to the gambling state. Hey, it's me, Nevada. I'm the gambling state, even though I own silver. Let's talk about my border. Let's talk about my border right now. I border Oregon to my northwest, and I border Idaho to my northeast, and I border Utah to my east, and I border Arizona to my southeast, and I border California to my west. Here's my elevation. Wow, I got a lot of mountains. And here are my cities. Yeah, Winnemucca Wells, Elko, West Mondover, Love Rock, Reno, Fallon, El Caliente, and Las Vegas is technically my largest city, and Carson City is my capital. Yeah, my landmarks. I only own Hoover Dam, which is what I technically share with Arizona. Anyways, let's move on to Utah. I'm Utah. Yeah, you guys probably know me as the Beehive State because I own bees, of course. Let's talk about my borders. I border Idaho to my north. I border Wyoming to my northeast. I border Colorado to my east. I border Arizona to my south, and I border Nevada to my west. Here's my elevation. Also got a lot of mountains. Damn. And here are my cities: Logan, Ogden, Provo, Price, Venero, Cedar City, and St. George, and Salt Lake City is my capital. Yeah, my landmarks. I own the Rainbow Bridge and the International Bridges National Monument. Time to move on to Colorado, aka the Fix Square. My name is Colorado. And not only am I a twin brother to Wyoming, it kind of snows a lot in my place. Here's my elevation. Let's talk about my borders. I border Wyoming to my north. I border Nebraska to my northeast. I border Kansas to my east, and I border Oklahoma to my southeast. I border New Mexico to my south, and I border Utah to my west. Here's my elevation. Also got a lot of mountains. And here's my elevation. Here's my cities. Fort Collins, Boulder, Glenwood Springs, Grand Junction, Colorado Springs, it's my largest city. Pueblo, Durango, and Denver is my capital city. Yeah, my landmarks. I own Pikes Peak and the Mesa Verde National Park. Let's move on to my twin brother, Wyoming. Yay! It's me, Wyoming. Some states consider me the real state, the real square. But my twin brother, Colorado, is also a square. Doesn't even matter anyway. Let's talk about my borders. I border Montana to my north. I border South Dakota to my northeast. I border Nebraska to my east. I border my twin brother to my south. I border Utah to my to my southwest, and I border Idaho to my west. Here's my elevation. Also got a lot of mountains. Yeah, my cities. Powell, Cody, Sheridan, Jackson, Warden, Buffalo, Gillett, Riverton, Lander, Casper, Douglas, Evanston, Rock Springs, Rollins, Wheatland, Torrington, Laramie, and Cheyenne is my capital. And here are my landmarks. I own 2 landmarks. I own the Devil's Tower and the Old Faithful. Time to move on to the potato state. I'm Idaho, even though some states call me the Potato Man. Just because I sell potatoes. And also, do you guys want some potatoes? Let New York know in the comments. And plus, let's talk about my borders right now. I border Canada to my north. I border Montana to my northwest, northeast. I border Wyoming to my east. I border Utah to my southeast. I border Nevada to my southwest, and I border Oregon to my west, and I border Washington to my northwest. Here's my elevation. I also got a lot of mountains. And here are my cities. Cardain, Lewiston, Twin Falls, Portillo, Idaho Falls, and Boise is my capital. Here are my landmarks. I only own 1 landmark. I own the Craters of the Moon National Monument. Let's move on to Montana. Hey guys, it's me, Montana. I'm the 4th largest state. Yeah, let's talk about the borders right now. I border Canada to my north. I border North Dakota to my east. I border South Dakota to my southeast. I border Wyoming to my south. And I border Idaho to my west. Use my elevation. Damn, got a lot of mountains as well. And here are my cities. Havre, Kalispell, Poston, Great Falls, Lewiston, Sydney, Gedville, Miles City, Billings, Bozeman, Butte, Deer Lodge, Missoula, Great Falls, Lewiston, and Helena is my capital. And here are my landmarks. I own 2 landmarks. I own the Little Bighorn Battlefield, and the Fort Union Training Post is what I technically share with North Dakota. And that's it, everybody.